It's true. I'm mad as hell, and I can't take it anymore. There's an old adage. There's an old adage, as old as perhaps literature itself, called divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Basically, if you can take a unified group, remember my post not all that long ago about who benefits. But if you take a unified group and separate them with an idea, separate them emotionally, separate them intellectually, eventually separate them physically, then you will have weakened them to the degree that you can conquer them. One of the things inherent to that strategy is that the people are so busy arguing amongst themselves that they don't see the enemy come in. That's worth saying again. The people are so busy arguing against themselves that they don't see the enemy coming in. That's a military strategy. Another military strategy, by the way, I'm putting diesel exhaust fluid into the motorhome, if you're wondering what in the world I'm doing. Another military strategy is to give the illusion that your forces are much greater than they actually are. Say that again. Another military strategy is to give the illusion that your forces are much greater than they actually are, so that your enemy, who is divided and arguing, will give up before the actual battle. These are strategies that have been used for centuries, eons, and they work. You never know when you look back in history, generally speaking, you can tell when a war began. But when it's happening or about to happen, you don't necessarily see it coming. You don't necessarily see it coming. A while ago, I did a post called Who Benefits? We are now divided. Those of us who believe with all of our hearts and souls that this is the single greatest experiment in the history of humanity, and that experiment is called the United States of America, where we have freedom, where we have opportunity. This experiment, this country is being challenged from within by a group or a group of groups who are trying to divide and conquer us by giving the illusion, several illusions, but one is that giving us the illusion that they have many more troops than they actually do. I'm going to move this camera, sorry. So that we will live in fear of their size, and so that we will begin to question whether or not we are on the right side of the argument. I'm here to tell you, I did a post on this too, I don't see racism. I see people from all walks of life, all nationalities, all races. And by the way, my understanding is that through your DNA, if you look at DNA, you can tell the difference between a male and a female, but you cannot tell the difference between a white person or a brown person or a black person or a blue person or a green person or a yellow person or a red person. That in our God-given DNA, we're all the same. But you must not, I'm going to say a definitive statement here, you must not believe that we are an inherently bad country. That is a lie intended to divide us. That will rot us from within as sure as rust on a quarter panel will rot your car from within. You have a choice. We have a choice. We can either believe that or we can say, no, that's not how it is, and go out and continue to respect, honor, appreciate one another. It starts with us. If it starts with us, it starts with you. Do not, and I don't care if you're 90 or I don't care if you're 9. Sadly, this is a very patient movement that has come against the core, the very fiber of what this country was, what this country is, and what this country must continue to be. This is the land of opportunity. This is the land of equal opportunity. I know we're being told otherwise. I challenge you today to find evidence in your household, in your life, of what I believe is the truth, that this is the land of opportunity, not the land of oppression. I smell a lie. And I ask you again, who benefits? If people continue to sell, pander, force division under the guise of unity, eventually you have to say, I'm mad as hell, and I'm not going to take it anymore. America, the single greatest experiment in the history of humanity, is being challenged right now by a incredibly loud, small group of people who are trying to tear it apart. We have a choice. This is a choice that I've never had in my lifetime. I'm 60 years old. This is a choice. We can believe that we are inherently evil, or we can believe that we are inherently good. But here's the challenge. If you believe you are inherently good as United States citizens, as I do, we must go out each and every day and endeavor to prove it. Words are cheap. Actions speak volumes. Prove that this is the single greatest experiment, the single greatest country in the history of the world, just as our forefathers believed, just as my father believed, just as I believe. What do you believe? Prove it. I'm John Schneider. Welcome to the conversation.